Hi, everyone. I'm Gary Francione. One of the central tenets of the abolitionist approach is that veganism is a moral imperative. Now, what I mean by that is if animals matter morally, if they're not things, we have a moral obligation not to eat them, wear them, or use them. It's not a matter of whether we exploit them in a supposedly humane way. That's not the point. The point is if they matter morally, we have an obligation to stop exploiting them, however supposedly humanely we claim to be doing it. Okay? Once you decide slavery is wrong, once you decide that slavery violates the fundamental rights of humans, the issue is not making slavery more humane, the issue is abolishing slavery. Similarly, where non humans are concerned, once you conclude that treating animals as things, using them as commodities is morally wrong, you stop. It's not a matter of doing it humanely. You can't do the wrong thing the right way. If the exploitation is wrong, then we ought not to be talking about trying to exploit in a compassionate or a humane way, because that misses the point. Now, there are animal advocates who get upset when I express these views. There are animal advocates who get upset with me when I express any view. But one of the views that they get upset about is when I say that veganism is a moral imperative, and they say, "Well, that's wrong. Veganism is a matter of being on a journey." Now, I disagree. I disagree. I think that's morally problematic. Indeed, I think it's transparently speciesist. Think about situation involving the violation of fundamental human rights. If I were to say, well, I recognize doing X is morally wrong because it violates the fundamental rights of this person or this group of people, but I'm going to continue doing it because I'm on a journey. You would quite rightly say you're not, you say you regard this as a fundamental rights violation, but you're not acting as though you do because you're not respecting the rights that you claim to recognize. And we would do that where any violation of fundamental human rights were involved. I don't care what it is, fill in the blank, and just think of any fundamental human rights violation that we're talking about. None of us ever talks about there being a journey, that we should have a journey so that we stop engaging in a fundamental human rights violation. We say that if something violates a fundamental human right, we have to stop it. All right. Now, where animals are concerned, all of a sudden, the journey becomes just fine. It's just fine to talk about continuing to exploit animals that we've recognized or we claim to recognize they have moral value. We claim to recognize that they have moral value, but we're going to continue to exploit them. Why? Because we find it difficult because we're on a journey. It's not about us, people. It's about them. It's not about our inconvenience. It's about their moral right. And so I would suggest that the next time you're talking to somebody who says, yeah, I agree. It's wrong to exploit animals. I think what we do with animals is wrong. And I think that, we ought to stop using animals. But I'm on a journey. I'm hoping, I'm on a journey to get there. Ask that person whether or not she or he would ever accept that sort of reasoning where humans are involved. And you know what? They're not going to be able to give you a very good answer other than no, they wouldn't, because nobody does accept it. And so you can point out to them that the essence of speciesism is treating similar interests in a dissimilar way treating the interests of non-humans in ways in which we would not treat the interests of humans because non-humans are of a different species. That's what speciesism is. So this idea of we're on this journey is itself a speciesist problematic idea. If you take animals seriously, if you believe animals have moral value, you stop consuming them. You stop treating them as things because it is only our belief that animals are things that have no moral value that allows us to exploit them in the ways that we do. So once we reject that, we go vegan. It's that simple. And you know what? Going vegan is easy. It is very sad that the animal movement invests so much energy in trying to convince people that going vegan is difficult. It's not. Not at all. We have a great website, howdoigovegan.com. Visit it. It's got all sorts of information about going vegan, and you can even get questions answered there. So, if animals matter, you go vegan. You're either vegan or you're participating directly in animal exploitation. There is no third choice. Thank you very much for considering my views.